Diomaye Faye of Senegal again has been mandated by Ecowas to mediate between Ecowas and the Alliance of the Sahel States. He's not the only one. Also, the Togolese President Gnassgbe, is uh, is joining him, and they're kind of a peace envoy. But our focus is on Diomaye Faye. Okay, hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent. Now, as we unfold this news, he has been again mandated by the ECOWAS leaders when they were holding the 65th summit of ECOWAS last Sunday. Why I said second time? Because the first time, when after he was elected, when he was touring the region, that kind of mandate, were also not formally but informally, was given to him, and he has brought that message when he visited at last the Alliance of the Sahel States, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Okay, now the question is, I'm going to lay out 5-6 points so that we understand this better. So the main question that's governing all this is that why Diomaye Faye of Senegal is appointed or kind of mandated as a peace envoy to mediate between ECOWAS and the Alliance of the Sahel States, because the problem of ECOWAS is actually bigger than the age of Diomaye Faye himself. He's just 44 years old, and this regional bloc is almost just 1 year away, 50 years old. And the problem has been there. The problem being that, working or a stooge in the region, to being a tool to continue serving France, to continue its neo-colonization in the Western Africa. Not only France, but even US, or whatever, US and France laid west, you can say that. So the points that I'm going to bring is that, number one, his appointment or the mandate has been given to him. One is, of course, the age gap, that he's younger than the rest of the ECOWAS leaders and kind of closer to the Burkina Faso and Mali leaders, okay, to the Alliance of the Sahel States. But what they have to know is that Diomaye Faye is still older than Ibrahim Traore, and he's older than Ibrahim Traore, and still older than Colonel Assimi Goïta of Mali. Okay, maybe the Niger one can be older than him. But of course, when you compare it with the rest of the ECOWAS leaders, he's younger. All of them are, 70 and 80 plusers. Those are the collection of the old presidential club in the region. Okay, you have, I can mention Nana Akufo-Addo, who is 80. You have Bola Tinubu, I think he's 78 or whatever, 70 something. Most of them are old there. So now the second point is that what we have to mention, let me tell you the best irony in it. When he was mandated that assignment in the 65th ECOWAS summit, Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana was sitting across to him, and he's 80. You know what? He's almost the same age as Diomaye Faye's father. That's how the age gap plays. But the thing is that Diomaye Faye is 44 years old, and Ibrahim Traore and Colonel Assimi Goïta, each of them are 36 and 41. So Diomaye Faye being 44, he's older than them. And the other thing is that Diomaye Faye is completely different in mentality, the way he's running things. These people are on the next level. They are not begging anyone. They are sharp, they are to the point, they are committed, and they know that they are on the road. The path that they have started is not reversible. So Diomaye Faye, on the other hand, he's something else. I'm going to lay it now. That will take me to the second point I want to unfold to you, which is some facts about Senegal and particularly the leader Diomaye Faye. Now, Diomaye Faye, when he came to power, him and his guy, the party leader, Sonko. Sonko actually was supposed to be the president, but he gave Diomaye Faye that position because he was banned and he was prisoned, and he told the people that Diomaye Faye should be the one you elect. Now, when they came to power, one of their campaign was that they will they will question Ecowas, and then they will also continue to support the alliance of the Sahel states. That was their promise. Now the people have started already to question how these guys are playing it, because Diomaye Faye, the way he's playing it is, he's into, if I may say, pleasing everyone policy, okay? Pleasing the West, pleasing Ecowas, pleasing your former colonizer, France. You just want to play it, kind of smooth. You are rubbing it. He's not very sharp and committed. For example, the way he's handling things, he questioned the presence of, actually it was the Prime Minister, Ousmane Sonko, he questioned the presence of French military in Dakar, which is in Sri. Actually, 30% of Dakar city, the capital of Senegal, is occupied by the French troops, okay? Now, Ousmane Sonko, in one of his speech, questioned that it's a sovereign state, for how long it's going to be there. You see, it's questioning it. And another thing, what you can see is they're renegotiating the business contracts that they have with the West, and including France. They are not. So what if it was Ibrahim Traore in his place, or if it was Assimi Goïta, or if it was even General Abdourahmane Tiani of Niger, you know what they're going to do? They don't renegotiate. They will cancel the contract. If it was again these leaders in the place of Diomaye Faye, they will kick the French troops, just like they did to the French and the US military. They will not question it. They will order. That is the big difference. So it's not only age, actually, the mentality is on a different level. So Diomaye Faye cannot deal with them. I mean, they're different. Okay, and it didn't work the first time. So why you are forcing him now to be a mediator? Now, a third point is that he's kind of examining, as they call it, their ties with France. Most of their economy, Senegal's economy, is dependent on France, so they don't want to cut that. They're afraid. Whereas when you come to the alliance of Sahel, the same was to their natural resources were handled and owned by much of the percent by France, but they were not afraid. They say, we're going to pay a price. A generation has to pay a price, whether we go hungry, this and that, and even a sanction against the neighboring country not to bring food or whatever. There's a daily track that they were exchanging because of trade, food coming in and out, all that sanctioned. They were not afraid. They were just, how China reached this. I think we have to read the history of China. China has sacrificed a generation to reach here where it is now. Whether it's hunger, war, or whatever, they have sacrificed the whole generation. You cannot deal with imperialists by begging and rubbing and being smooth and pleasing everyone. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. And these three leaders have understood it, how to deal with the imperialists. That's why they are committed. That's why they say, with the road we are not afraid. It's irreversible, period. Now, number 4, I want to unfold to you Ibrahim, the Senegal's Diomaye Faye, when he was ending touring the region as a new elected president in the region for Senegal, he kind of closed his tour in the region by visiting to Mali and Burkina Faso. Of course, he didn't go to Niger, and he denied that He is not mandated by anyone, but we all heard it publicly when Bola Tinubu and Nana Akufo-Addo, when he was in Nigeria and Ghana, told him that we want you to mend this relationship between ECOWAS and the Sahel states, okay? So he said he's just by his own. In any case, the two leaders, again, on a national television, Captain Ibrahim Traore and Colonel Asim Goita, told him, no, we are not going back to ECOWAS. They have done something inhuman against us and our brothers and sisters in Niger. ECOWAS is an organization that is doing completely opposite to the principles of its foundation. There's nothing Pan-African in it. It's just, it just continues to be a servant to its master, that being France and US and others. That's what they are doing. That's what you see when the French military that's kicked out from Niger, Mali, or Burkina Faso, they end up, having a military base in a next ECOWAS member, that being Benin, Togo, and others, okay, sabotaging these countries. They know what they are dealing with. So they don't want that relationship anymore. They know that they're by their own and they're not afraid. They know this is the only way, to break that remnants of colonialism, that shackle, to break it for once and for all, is by completely cutting that tie. And that includes not only the imperialist master itself, France or US, but also countries that are serving to be a servant to them, which is the ECOWAS members. Okay, so he has visited those countries and the result was zero. He could amend that relationship. Okay. In fact, he was asked if Senegal was in one of the press briefings, he was asked by the journalist if Senegal is ready to join the Alliance of the Sahel States. He said no. I mean, for now, we continue to deal, to continue to be a member of ECOWAS and, have that good relationship with Macron or France. So that's what he said. Now, the fifth point I want to bring you is that the intention, it's always good to know the intention for anything. The intention that this decision or pressure is imposed against Diomaye Faye, if you ask, is really always intentional. It's good to dig what is the intention. It helps you for a lot of things, whether it's a film, whether it's a book that you are reading. Ask the intention. What is the intention the writer wrote this book? What is the intention the director, made this film or whatever, or the script writer? So the intention is that it's out of necessity. It's out of necessity. It's not just because they want peace. It's out of necessity, and the reality is on the ground. When I say out of necessity, because they need these leaders. Their ECOWAS is losing 72 million people, and an area, if you compare it by the geographically, what kind of space the Alliance of the Sahel States, there are three, but it's bigger when you compare it to the rest of the 11 or the 12 countries. They still consist or comprise much of the geographical space. The only thing minus is that for the Alliance of Sahel States, that they are landlocked, and that landlockedness has brought a business to the neighboring countries in ECOWAS, because they use their port not for free, they pay them. Okay, and and also there's a trade exchange. And when these jobs are lost, the jobs are also from the other side as well. Not only the Burkinabe lose job or a Malian lose job, also a Ghanaian will lose. I will give you one example. The price of onion has gone crazy in Ghana because onion was used to be imported from one of these countries. Okay, there's medicine, a lot of things. So they lose out. It's out of necessity. And of course, Bola Tinubu is trying to save his face, not to have this breakaway under his chairmanship, which he actually is elected now for the second time. I don't think it's legal even. Maybe he has made a coup. against the constitution. I'm just saying, but I have to check that one. Now, the last point is that the realities on the ground, when we say ironically, look, ironically, why this is wrong, why Diomaye Faye or even his friend, his counterpart, the Togolese president Gnasgbe, are not the right people, is that historically, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are trying to do what their ancestors have already tried. There was, in 1960s, there was the Malian Empire that has Mali, Senegal, and Burkina Faso in it. Okay, but the idea was also to add Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, but before Senegal agreed, and then after 1 month, because their president, I forgot his name, their president right after the independence, but he kind of sabotaged it because he was working as an errand boy for France. So that's how it sabotaged and left it after 1 month. But Togo and Cote d'Ivoire, from the beginning, they did not join in. In fact, they were gathering oppositions so that this Malian empire will not work. That's how they sabotaged it. So history kind of, you can say, repeated itself when Senegal says now it's not joining this the Alliance of the Sahel states, and now this Togolese leader, Togo has only one leader, one family dynasty ever since their independence. Gnasgbe's father has ruled for 37 years. After that, it's his son Gnasgbe himself ruling Togo. They don't know any other president. France makes sure that when there is such a thing, a family dynasty, they don't talk about it because these people are really working for them. But when they have real African leaders working for the people of Africa, like Ibrahim Traore, Abdurrahman Tihani on this and that, you pull out your neighbors, the international community, and everyone to go against you. But when you have for almost 50 plus years one family ruling the country, you zip your mouth and you don't even talk. All this electoral democracy is thrown out of the window. That's how hypocrite France and its friends are, as a whole, the Western world. So these are the points I wanted to bring to you. So I leave the judgment. This is my opinion, my view. I'm going to leave it to you. Is it the right person, Diomaye Faye, or the other to mediate between Ecowas and the Alliance of the Sahel states? Do we need even mediation? We don't want the Alliance of the Sahel states to join Ecowas, and they don't need it either. Most of African people who are supporting them do not want them back to ECOWAS, and they are not going back to ECOWAS. So why is ECOWAS is so in panic mode and trying to make this happen just to save their face? No, there's also a loss of economy. But let us know in the comment section, what is your view, your share on this one? Okay, thanks again for rooting, for trusting us here at Connect Africa, for supporting. I saw someone support in Osman Kone. Thank you again for your super sticker, $10. Thank you. Anything is good for us. Even your presence here is important. Okay, that's what makes us going. Let me just give a quick shout out. Practical stress relieving tips. Osman Kone, child of God. Connex, chill zone goddess. Bena, Curtis Edwards. Who else is there that I didn't? Yoruba land, hello. Shiba, thank you very much, all of you, for being here. So Faye isn't trustworthy. Yeah, I agree with you. Who is asking for mediation? Well, if I think my video answers it, they're just coming up with their own thing, I don't know, but what for me, I'm more interested, what is the background for this? Why they are so in panic mode? I will bet you that 5,000 man for the puppet talk about creating is the ideas of their masters to go the fight. The AS, yeah. So all of you, thank you for your comment. I'm going to go through it, but again, I'm going to tune myself later on subscribe, share the video, and give it a like. I'm gonna come and talk about why ECOWAS is building another, having a new building. I'm gonna bring you that news. But until then, ciao, ciao, and thanks again.